We can go ahead and get kicked off at least with some intros from our side. I am going to be talking way too much over the next half hour. So, Allie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here and taking some time out of your day, your busy days, to join us and learn more about our MGT platform and how we can help you solve problems. I'm again Ali Essian. I'm the head of partnership success, and our goal for the team is to make sure that your experience is as good as it can be, and have a very human support system for you and a very modern tech experience while you place your small business risks. So thanks, Dan.
Oh, that was awesome. Couldn't have said it better myself. Um, so I am Dan Coakley. I'm the partner activation lead here at MGT, or I like to say you can think of me as your pal here at MGT. So I will be here to support you, especially as you get up and running with us, but you have a whole team that is here for you. Usually we'll have a few other people join the call, but we have got so much going on. This is going to be a huge year, and they are back in the kitchen cooking up some really, really cool stuff for everybody. What we are really excited to show you today is our next generation platform to quote, bind, issue, service, and renew policies, which I think is actually the easiest to use platform in the entire insurance space. Maybe even outside of insurance too. It's pretty nifty that we can negotiate $2 million contracts in 3 minutes or less. So let me go ahead. I will share my screen. Today we'll run through a little bit of background about MGT, who we are, what we do. We'll talk about some of the features in our policies, some of the great coverage available for your clients. And then we'll run through a demo of the platform so you can see it all in action. We'll talk about some recent wins. And all along the way, if you have any questions, any comments, please feel welcome to ask those of us. You can use either the Q&A button, should be right around here on your screen, or the chat button should be right around here. Either way, we will see those and we're happy to answer those questions. Don't feel like you have to wait till the end. I know if I try to do that, half the time I'll forget what my question was. We want to make sure that we are answering any questions that you have. So we think we're building something pretty special and pretty unique here at MGT, the world's first neo-insurer. What does that mean? Well, nobody knows when you're the first to do something. You can really think about it as us being built off a foundation of modern cutting edge technology to really make your life easier, make the whole process of quoting, buying, servicing, renewing insurance more delightful for you, of course, and also for your clients who, are really driving this whole system for us. We have really built some streamlined processes that are designed to save you time and cut down on data entry. And we have designed these dashboards and these systems to work with you the way you like to work. We're very proactive about handling feedback. So especially as you have a chance to get in there and jump in, kick the tires a little bit, take it for a spin, any feedback you have, good, bad, or indifferent, is extremely valuable to us, and it will make an impact and help us build this tool that is going to be the perfect fit for you and the way you like to work. We also, of course, as part of using modern next-gen technology, we do use artificial intelligence tools, agentic AI, to help us do a lot of really cool things. And it kind of gets back to our philosophy. A lot of times when you see companies implementing these tools, it can feel like they're trying to replace the human in the process. Uh, the way we look at it is it's really there to enhance what the human can do. And so the AI tools that we use, they enable our team to work smarter, to use their talents, their skills, their intelligence, not just to do the grunt work of, say, looking up a business's Facebook account and seeing what they posted the last 3 years, but to really focus on making those decisions that help drive business outcomes for you and for your clients when an account might not perfectly fit within all the nice, neat little lines that we've set up. We hope that it gives you the same ability to work with small commercial accounts, but give that less bandwidth so that you can focus on all the other important things you need to do throughout the day as well. A couple highlights about MGT. We are rated A minus by AM Best, so we've got excellent financial strength. We're also writing 100% ISO form BOPs. Those are the most legally tested forms in the market. And so between those 2 points, even though we may not yet be a household name, you can feel very confident, very comfortable quoting, binding, and servicing accounts with us. The way we are set up is zero paperwork. It's a 100% digital process. So if you also like trees, then you save some trees when you work with us too. You'll never have to fill out accords. We're not going to come back and ask you for 45 pages of supplemental applications. There's no 3 week long back and forths with underwriting teams to firm up terms. You'll get a bindable quote at the end of this process. And then to get it over the finish line from there, it's going to take another minute or two of e-signatures and payment information. Which is really leading into my absolute favorite statistic to share. It's over 80% of our policies go from logging in to start to bound and issued in 10 minutes or less. And I think with this new system, we're going to have to update this slide and make it 5 minutes or less. We are also we have a pretty wide footprint. We're admitted in 44 states and DC and growing. We are really hopeful we'll have some good news to share there before too long. Just a couple quick numbers. One that I'll highlight here is we had 100% uptime in the fourth quarter 2025. That means 100% of the time somebody needed to quote with MGT, whether it was during business hours, during a weekend. I've seen people in the system at 3 a.m. quoting, and anytime they needed us, our system was ready and operational and there for them to help keep their business going. We have a broad scope of our appetite. Today we're writing about 250 classes of small business. For us, small business is meaning up to 3 million revenues for most risks, up to 5 million revenue for professional and medical offices. We'll do 1 to 100 employees. We can write up to 2 million total insured value per location with up to 4 locations per policy. We do write new ventures, businesses with claims history, no prior coverage, coverage lapses can all be eligible as well. So I'd still encourage you to submit those. Now, a lot of times when I talk about our appetite and our policies, I myself fall into the same trap of saying we just do a BOP. The microchip in my neck should shock me every time I say that because we do a little bit more than just a BOP. We've got all kinds of great coverage enhancements that you can add. I won't go through every single one here. You can read these. And if you see if you have any questions, see anything that catches your eye and you want to talk more, very happy to do that. Again, please use the chat or Q&A features. We'll be happy to talk more. We do also have some optional coverages and sublimits available. Great thing about the way our platform's set up is when you're working on finalizing your quote, it will only show you these options if they're available for that specific account. And when you're setting limits and deductibles and sublimits, it'll only show you bindable options for those as well. We love working with restaurants here. We did build a package, or maybe I should call it an enhancement, specifically for restaurants to cover some of their particular risks and concerns. One that I always love to highlight is the customer auto liability. If you're working with a risk that has some valet operations, they can get coverage for those customer autos that they're handling. And now I will go ahead and switch tabs so you can see how this all works. So before we jump into the platform, I always like to highlight my favorite page on our website, which is the BOP Appetite page. If you're navigating along here on another screen, I'd encourage you to go ahead and bookmark this page. And if not, next time you're here, go ahead and bookmark it. Our appetite is going to be growing really, really, really fast this year, a lot faster than any other insurance carrier I've ever seen expand. To stay up to date, the best source is going to be this part of our website because when we make those updates, this is the very first thing that we'll update to make sure you always have the most up-to-date information at your fingertips. This also has a great tool. Her name's Amy. She is an AI assistant chatbot. She's really, really good at being able to handle a lot of those high level, can you write this? Can you write that? Let's say, can you write a sushi restaurant in Omaha? So she knows our appetite on a class code level, knows some of the finer details, as far as, maybe there are some states where liquor liability is not available. She knows our appetite on a state level and can combine all that information to come back and give you quick answers to a lot of those questions. And you don't even have to log in to access this. You'll also see here in the bottom right-hand corner, and you'll see this really consistently throughout the whole process. If you ever need some extra support, it's just a couple keystrokes away. You can click that button, and that will let you instant message back and forth with our team. And we're here and keeping an eye on this pretty much all the time, so that when you need some help, we make sure that you're getting connected to someone who can help you. Now, to jump in and get to the fun part, you'll just click sign in and log in. Then that will take you into the platform. From here, you can start quotes. We can also take a look at policies that have been bound. We can take a look at quotes that we've been working on, and we can use the user management tools to add new users to the agency. I always do recommend sending an invitation to anyone on your team who will be quoting or binding. The way we're set up, we make it easy for teams to collaborate, so you don't all need to share one login. And it just makes it a little bit more secure, makes the chains of communication a little bit clearer. And overall, it's just a better experience if everybody has their own login. So go ahead and get that set up. Now, let's start a quote. We'll click the Start New Quote button. And, when you are doing demos like this regularly, there's one golden rule that almost anyone who does these will follow, and that is always stick to the script. But I am so confident in this tech, I will break the golden rule here. And I'll invite you all, if anybody has a business that they really like, maybe a local restaurant, the barber that you go to, a local real estate agent who sends you leads sometimes, feel free to shout them out in the chat and we can quote a business that's out in your neck of the woods so you can see how this all works with a real life example. So again, invitation to use that chat feature or the Q&A. I definitely do have some backup businesses in my back pocket that we can run a quote with, but it was a little bit more fun when we work with something that you have. So for anybody who's been following along with these this year, you'll know I've been doing a lot of smoothies for lunch so far. So let's go ahead. We'll do a Smoothie King. It's a cool little feature here. Where our office is based is the Denver Tech Center or DTC, and we can actually type that in, and it's able to look that up, and it is able to associate DTC with the Denver Tech Center. Just really cool. So we'll click continue here. And what's happening behind the scenes is that we're looking up somewhere around 3,900 different data points on this business to help pre-populate a lot of the questions that will come up in the application. and ultimately just make our underwriters' jobs a little bit easier because they have access to all that information as soon as that submission comes through. They don't have to go through all these different data sources to find them. They don't have to do a lot of back and forth with you to find them. It's just available. And that lets them focus on, using that same bandwidth to consider an account and consider that specific risk profile and what we can offer and how it meets their needs. And so it can take a minute. We're working with, maybe a dozen different data vendors, and that is just a lot of number crunching going on in the background. And I'm also doing this demo on our kind of backup system. And so you'll see when you're working with it, it's going to be even a little bit faster than it just was. But that wasn't too bad. So first couple questions, these are going to be very consistent with anything you're quoting with us. Have there been any claims, and do we need to insure any buildings? So we'll answer those and click continue. Now the system is able to look up that business and make a very solid guess at its classification. I like to say trust but verify throughout this process. So if you ever see something in here that just doesn't look right, don't just say, well, the computer said that. Continue, continue, continue. Update it, make sure it's correct. You can select that drop-down box, find the best option in there. You can also type in that box too, and there's some keyword search built in. So you'll see a lot of these are pre-filled for us. And again, that's coming from that data lookup. So, again, make sure this is all correct. Should be pretty good. And it just takes that task down from having to give everything the yes, no treatment to just a quick look. Looks good. Click continue. Again, it's pre-filling some more of this information for us. This all looks great. Exactly what I'd expect from a Smoothie King. So we'll click continue. We will say there's one special event. This is just a nice little feature I like to show off, as we are able to include coverage for special events. Under our BOP, all you have to know is the number of attendees and whether they'll serve alcohol or not. If they do, we'll include some post-liquor liability as well. So we've got their gross annual sales. Again, we could write up to 3 million in gross sales for a risk like this and up to 5 million if it were an office. And so that's everything we needed to do for the liability section. The next thing we'll look at here is property. And so we'll be able to add any additional insurance we need to. And right now, this is actually doing some research on that location to help pre-populate some of that information and make sure it's eligible with us as well. So we'll click continue. And then in the next page, this is where we'll start to quote the building. And again, it's pre-filling some of that information. It's going to look it up. It might take a minute or so to find it, but it's usually pretty fast. And then that'll just handle a lot of the kind of grunt work for us so that we don't have to do that. Now, this submission is contents only. I like to do that because it just keeps it a little faster, a little bit more streamlined, and that's what we're all about. But we absolutely quote buildings on these risks as well. And if you're working with one that needs building coverage, definitely send that through. So you can see here it found some of those details. I don't know if I trust non-combustible, so we're going to go ahead and say frame. And then it's got 100,000 in BPP. That seems a little high, so we'll do 15,000. So we just made a couple adjustments to that, right? You don't have to just go with what the algorithms say. So we'll click continue now. If we needed to add any additional buildings or locations, we could do that in this step of the process. And then the next choice is just whether we'd like to opt out of TRIA. We'll keep that on, and then we'll click continue. And that's everything we've needed to do to quote. So it's going to start to put that together for us and prepare us to make that presentation in just a moment. So it looks like this one triggered referral. Not sure what I miskeyed in there, but I'm going to go check that out after the fact. But just to give you an idea of what all this looks like, You'll have the effective date right here. The way the system's set up right now is when you run a quote, it just quotes with the furthest out effective date we'd be able to accept. So make sure that, you're taking a good look at that and it will be effective when the applicant needs it to be effective. You've got a quick summary of some of our limits. You can adjust all these different sublimits. Now, it's not letting me do that right now because this one triggered referral. We don't want you spinning your wheels on a risk until it's ready to be accepted. And so for referrals, you can't update these. But I'll just kind of give this a quick scroll through so you can see what's available to you. So here at the bottom of the page, this one's kind of hiding below the fold, you might say, but really good stuff in here. We've got employment practices liability, very, very good coverage to add for restaurants, damage to premises rented to you. A lot of landlords are requiring that now, super easy to add. And then hired non-owned auto is available for restaurants as well as long as they are not doing any self-delivery. They can do delivery, but it has to happen through third parties like Grubhub, DoorDash, etc. So from here, if we were ready to bind the account, it'd have to be accepted. Let me see if I can pull up a older quote that I've been working on just so you can see what that process looks like. So once you're ready to bind an account, just click continue to bind. And then we'll put in some basic information about the policyholder. And this will actually send them a quote presentation so they can take a look at that. We'll click confirm and send to insured. And I should have in my inbox, actually, it just landed in my inbox already, the email to go ahead and finalize the quote. One feature I will share with you though, this is really helpful. If they don't get that link or if they just need some assistance completing the process, you can click copy share link right here. And then I'll open up a new tab and paste that in. And this is what it will look like when they go through the payment process. They'll be able to select full pay, quarterly, or monthly, and then click continue. In the next step, we'll e-sign all the documents. So we built this to be pretty easy and accessible. You don't have to be a tech expert to navigate this. We'll just do the signature, do the initials, agree to e-signing, and then click sign all. We'll be able to download all of these signed documents too, so you can have them, your client can have them for their records. They'll all be stored here. And then once this completes, we'll be able to go in and make payment. Let me see if I can remember the secret details that make this all work. Routing number is invalid. I'm not going to make you watch me try and do this live. But when you get everything right, you're not a big dummy like me. That'll go right on through. And as soon as that payment goes through, the policy gets bound and issued. All along the way, you'll see the quote page will actually update and keep track of where we're at in the process. So, we let you be in touch with your business so you can really manage and be in control of your business. And if you're not sure what's going on, check here, and this will let you know exactly where we're at in the process. You can download all those documents. And then within about 60 to 90 seconds of that payment going through, all the policy documents will be available for you as well. So it always takes a little bit longer with me narrating along the way, but I think we got through that entire process in about 12 minutes. And I think when you're doing it without me jibber jabbering at you, you'll probably be looking at 5 to 6 minute quote times in no time. So let me actually go back, and before we wrap up, I'll show you a couple things that we've been winning recently so you'll know what to keep an eye out for. So we have got a great appetite for electronics retailers. These can be cell phone stores and computer stores. One thing I always love to highlight is our policy does include theft, and there's no specific sublimit for theft. So that can be a major concern for those businesses, and they can get great protection if they fit in our underwriting appetite. We also write convenience stores. We wrote a great one in South Carolina. They completed that quote from start to finish in 6 minutes and ended up saving their clients some money. So when you can deliver amazing service like that and save somebody money, that is a client for life. And that's what we want to set you up to do. We also wrote a seafood restaurant in Georgia. 1 mil, 2 mil GL, liquor liability included, some BPP and building limits, so about $1 million in property total. Came out to just under 15,000 for them on an annual premium. They also, we didn't include some of the details here, but they included some coverages like employment practices liability, the restaurant enhancement, some other coverages as well, because they were already saving the money. So they just changed that conversation to, hey, we're still saving you money and you're getting better coverage too. That's really where we want to put you is being able to have that conversation of, I've found a carrier that's a better fit for you. You can get amazing coverage and at a lower price. These days, when do you ever get more for less? So we are right at time, and if anybody has any questions, please use that chat feature, that Q&A feature. Always happy to talk shop on this. But if there are no other questions, then we'll let you get back to your day. But before you go, I did just want to say thank you so much for visiting with us this afternoon. Natalia had a great question. What's the percentage in liquor sales? For restaurants, we could write up to 50% alcohol sales. Anything up to 25% will instant quote for you. And then between 25 and 50, depending on the type of restaurant, it may instant quote. We just want to make sure that we're comfortable with the risk. Great question. So one last thing is I'm going to add in the chat my contact info. If you have any questions, need some assistance, please always feel welcome. Well, I did that to the hosts and panelists only. You'd think after 5 years of Zooming, I'd know better, but you'd think wrong. So there is my contact info in the chat. Please keep that handy and always feel welcome to reach out. You have a whole team here to support you. I'm just proud to be part of that team. My job is to help you do your job a little bit better anytime you need me.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.